Hello people of YouTube, and welcome from a lake. It is the motorcycle season once again, and I have gotten my bike out of storage. That was also the worst start I have ever made on this bike. The bike is running a bit rough at the moment. I need to change the oil, which I will do next week. It seems quite desperate for that. And I think the valves are in need of adjustment. The bike has run over 20,000 kilometers. It is from 2014, and I would genuinely be surprised if the valves have been adjusted since it was purchased by its first owner, which I think was 7 owners away. I think I'm the 7th. So there's some stuff that needs service about this bike. It doesn't really love starting up right now, and when I give it the beans, I can hear some clattering in the top end, which is not ideal. So I am riding reasonably carefully, and I will keep doing so until the bike has had its service. Now, some of you keen-eyed viewers might look around at where I'm riding and be like, huh, this looks familiar. Isn't this where he ended last season? Yes, it is. It is indeed. This is the road to Draksten. I will not title this video the same way because I titled the video last year, The Road to Draksten. I need to figure out something else. The Return to Draksten. Maybe that's it. So my motorcycle has been in storage for a solid half year, and I am very happy to have it out of storage again, but I'm not entirely trusting it at the same time either. Again, because of the clattering and because of the slightly rough starts. So, yeah, taking it fairly slow, not revving it super high, not giving it the full beans until it's been looked at. The oil has been changed, it's been serviced, and I've had a professional mechanic say, yes Tom, it is good, you may ride it once more. But we'll see, that should be in a week or so. And I'm just having my fingers crossed, I hope for the best. Again, it's from 2014, I'm the 7th owner, as far as I'm aware, and who knows what the idiots before me have done with this bike. I assume, actually, quite a lot, considering the aftermarket exhaust. There's an aftermarket air intake. There's a fuel injection, what's that called? Like a fuel commander or whatever. Something that regulates the fuel going into the cylinder that is in addition to the stock system, just to give it a bit more fuel. Right, take it slightly inside. Oops, riding into the sun a bit, sorry about that. You can probably not see shit right now through the trees. Probably a bit of glaring happening. Also, on that note, I've got a slightly different solution for mounting the GoPro on my chest. As you might be able to tell, it's mounted in the middle, which is quite nice. I have DIY'd a solution out of some PVC and some old foam I had lying around, so now I have a sort of, I don't know, I want to call it a tray. It's not a tray, it's just like a little holder plate thingy. Mounted between the straps of my backpack, and the GoPro clipped onto that. And I'm very curious how this is going to look, because I've upped the field of view, and I went up to 4K. And I've turned off the stabilization because we have a GoPro Hero 5 and it does not do stabilization in 4K. And I'm just very, very curious about how this is all going to... This road is so bouncy. Very weird. But yeah, we'll see how that pans out. Mostly, I just want to test the mount for now. I just want to be out for a little ride because it's Sunday afternoon. It is gorgeous weather. It's a bit cold, which is why I'm still wearing my winter gloves. And it is just beautiful. I love this little valley we're riding through right now. It is just so nice. And there's still snow, which is kind of insane. It's the middle of April, actually coming up to the end of April already, and there's still quite a lot of snow that hasn't melted away yet, which is partly why I'm riding on a tarmac road at the moment and not doing any gravel stuff quite yet, although I have done a little bit. There is just a bit of gravel, or just a bit of snow still on the gravel roads, which is shaky, because I do not have the tires for that, nor the skill, nor the will to learn right now. That's not entirely true. I would actually quite like to learn that, but yeah, definitely don't have the tires or the setup, or the nerve for that matter, but that's another story. So, tarmac, for me, it's gorgeous. You can't see shit again because we're riding against the sun. But what have you? Was there anything else I was going to bring up? Oh yeah, I told you how the bike needs to be in good shape again fairly soon, because in a month, no, 2.5 months, mid-June, Frank is coming up again with his motorcycle, and then together we'll be riding down to the cabin in the south, which is a 9-hour ride we'll be taking in 2 days. And Signe is joining us as well by car, and with Saga in the back, which is lovely. It's kind of ridiculous that we are taking that trip from the same place to the same place with 3 different vehicles, but what even is climate change? He said, feeling very guilty about it. But yeah, the bike definitely needs to be in good shape before that, because I'm having a sort of hard time trusting it, as I said. Even though it's feeling alright right now. It's a little bit hit and miss, it seems, but, you know, we'll get it looked at. It needs to be in good shape before June, because otherwise I am gonna not be able to go, which is not gonna be ideal. I'm gonna be able to go, I'll just have to sit in the car with Signe, which I don't really want to do. Not that those road trips aren't lovely, but I want to be doing this here, what I'm doing right now. Because it's lovely. All of Norway is lovely to ride. There are basically no motorways, so all of the roads are not quite like this, but nearly like this. Which means that the 9 hours of riding will actually be a fun ride. Even if they are going to be pretty long rides. I don't think I've ever... What's the furthest I've ever ridden? I think it must have been... It should have been in that inner track there. I think it must have been to Storlien in Sweden, actually, with Frank as well, when he came up last time, when Ailey was here too. And that was about 1.5 hours to get there. Then on the way back we did a big loop around. I think I'm here actually. Or do I have another 2 turns to go? No, I think I might be by the lake now. Fairly soon anyway. Oh no, I've got some more. I can just about see the lake, which is still frozen. Sunstavon. On that? Whatever. Norwegian. Not my first language. I can just see through the trees there, so I've got some more curves to go down. Oh yeah, this curve is always slightly longer than I expect it to be. And there's quite a lot of gravel still on the roads, so I'm going to take it a bit slow. Through these curves. Because I don't want my whole bike to slide away on me and to be dropping it. But that was alright. Alright, so let's go to the right. Last time I stopped here, I'm going to keep riding this time. Nothing. Good. It is a fun bike. That was not nearly full throttle. I've said before that this is not a fast bike, and it really isn't. But up to about... I've got my high beams on. You were able to see that. In the recording, we'll be able to tell when Tom turned on his high beams and didn't notice because there's a fucking brake line right in his vision. Anyway, up to like 80 kilometers an hour, this bike sprints like a bastard, and it's the most fun ever without like being dangerous because it's slow. It's very difficult to do anything illegal speed-wise on this motorcycle. That doesn't mean that you can't have fun. Actually, there's an adage in the motorcycle world. It is more fun to ride a slow bike fast than a fast bike slow, which is probably true. I haven't ridden many fast bikes, but I do love riding slow bikes fast. I say that. I don't actually love riding that fast. I like acceleration a bit. I don't love speed that much. Another reason I want this bike to be in good shape is that I want to sell it after Frank and I have done our big cabin trip. Because I have just about saved enough for my dream motorcycle, which is another slow bike you could ride fast. The Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. So the plan very much is to purchase one of those after Frank and I have done the cabin on this motorcycle. And the reason I'm not doing it before is that I really have wanted to take this motorcycle to the cabin, because there's so much lovely gravel there. So many little gravel hairpin roads that go up and down the mountains. I need to have done that on this motorcycle before I move on to the next thing. So that is the plan. I want it to be in good shape before I do the big adventure, and after the big adventure I need it to be in good shape because I want to sell it. And I know that if I do big maintenance now, I won't be able to sell it with any sort of profit, and I won't be able to sell it with profit anyway. That's a wrong choice of words. But like, let's say the return on investment is a terrible idea. However, my conscience will feel a lot better if I sell a mechanically good motorcycle to the 8th owner of this bike. That's kind of insane. In its lifespan, in its 8 years of life, just over 8, it will have had 8 owners. Which is such a bummer because it's such a lovely bike. If I had the space and the money, I'd keep it. I would absolutely keep this bike, but it's just not for now. But one day I will have a bike like this alongside the motorcycle that is indeed the dream. But first, let's make the dream come true and have the last few fun months on this bike before we do so. That felt weird. A little bit of weird resistance just now, so I'm gonna just take it a bit slow. It was a little shock that felt like it came through the front wheel, which was kind of disconcerting. Nothing continued though, so maybe just a little bit of gravel I kicked away that I didn't notice riding over. Could be. Nothing feels like it's gone wrong, so I'll just keep at it. This road, I may have said this already, this road's so goddamn bouncy. It is, and all of the roads in Norway are kind of like this. There's just, I don't know if it's the frost or the type of soil or the roots of the trees or all of the above, but roads here are wavy, for lack of a better word. take that corner very carefully because it is very blind and very narrow, so cars might just have the fun idea of cutting it, same as with the one that's coming up. I don't really want to be caught in someone's grill. But it was alright. Absolutely delightful. Also, I think I might be getting rid of the little windscreen, because what that windscreen is actually doing is not just protecting me from wind, but also blasting my face with wind. So the wind comes up to about here, and then instead of just nice smooth wind all over my body, I get turbulent wind hitting me in the face, which is loud and obnoxious, and kind of painful on my neck. So, don't love that. So I'm gonna probably get rid of this again and see how that goes. It'll also be better for videos because you'll get a clearer view. Not that that's the most important part. The most important part is for me to have a level of comfort. And this is where I'm gonna call it. Because I've chatted long enough. And we are at a very gorgeous place right now. I don't think I can put the bike on the kickstand because nope, it will sink. So I'm gonna just sort of point that way. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Also, thumbs up down below. Thank you. Bye.